New court documents obtained by KREM 2 are revealing more about a man's death in Elk last week. Today, 2 suspects appeared before a judge for the first time.
We had so much traffic, I knew there was something going on down there.
Winter weather advisories in place ahead of our next round of snow. I'll let you know how much we're waking up to tomorrow morning.
Plus, one Spokane neighborhood looks to become an historic district. The steps being taken to make it happen.
It's about moving forward in a way that is respectful of how the neighborhood has been designed in the past.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. Thank you for being here. Tonight, Spokane City Council members will vote on a new ordinance designed to help renters and landlords.
KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk shares what we know about this ordinance.
This ordinance is several years in the making. Council members have been meeting with renters and landlords, and they say that this ordinance addresses many of the key issues that were brought up during those conversations. Council members want to help streamline the process of getting people into housing by supplying portable background checks at no cost to the landlord. The ordinance also includes anti-retaliation protections for tenants. Landlords would be required to obtain a business license and provide the city a list of their units, the price of rent, and whether or not those units are occupied. Council members are expected to vote on this ordinance during tonight's meeting. We'll let you know what happens on KREM 2 News at 10 and 11. Reporting from City Hall, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
A proposal to turn the Cliff Cannon neighborhood into an historic district will go before the Spokane City Council tonight for the very first time. The district will be called the Cannon Streetcar Suburb Historic District.
So here's a look at what the district would cover. The distinction would ensure that any current or future owners in the area would have to preserve their original historic value. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley is taking us into one of those historic homes to share what the district is going to mean for those who live there.
The Cannon Streetcar Suburb is rich with more than 100 years of history. A proposal now before Spokane City Council could preserve the historic character of this entire neighborhood rather than just individual homes.
Spokane's Cliff Cannon neighborhood is riddled with historic homes, and living in these homes are people who feel a sense of responsibility to preserve their history.
These pocket doors mean that you can really keep things fairly warm even in the winter without having to crank the heat.
Brigida Hendren has always been drawn to the historic charm her hometown has to offer, which is why she's committed to preserving her 117-year-old home the best she can.
I am a resident, yes, but I am also a steward. I am one in a line of 5 or 6 families that has taken care of this house. If I do it properly, it will outlast me, and it should.
This self-proclaimed steward owns a home already listed in the National Register of Historic Places. But a proposal, spearheaded by her fellow Cliff Cannon stewards, would turn the whole neighborhood into a historic district, a move that Hendren supports.
It's about moving forward in a way that is respectful of how the neighborhood has been designed in the past, but it's not about preservation and amber. It is about moving forward.
475 homes that roughly surround the Huckleberries on Monroe Street would be part of the district. It would establish standards and guidelines with the goal of maintaining the historic character of the buildings and the district. Home improvement incentives would also be made available, but some believe they favor the wealthy. Still, the district has wide support from the neighborhood.
Why my house is as lovely as it is now is because 117 years of people prior to me were dedicated to keeping it that way. And I'm very interested in not letting down the team.
And that's why Hendren and her fellow stewards are eager to do their part in maintaining some of Spokane's history, while also being a part of it. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, let's talk weather. Today we got a break from the snowy conditions that we saw over the weekend, but we might not be done with the snow just yet.
So our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legou, is here now to share more on just how much more snow is on the way and when.
Well, basically all week. No, okay, we have a couple of breaks. I think those breaks are Wednesday and Friday. In the interim, well, it's all about the snow, and snow returns here within the hour now, and we're going to watch that continue to fall overnight for many of us. Winter weather advisory is in effect for eastern Washington and north Idaho until 10 a.m. tomorrow for the impacts of this snow. Snow already moving in and taking over. Starting as a little bit of rain in Spokane, but quickly transitioning over to snow as we cool things down. Snow takes us into tonight and persists through tomorrow morning. I think what winds up happening is we catch a little break early tomorrow and then see a couple of stray bands set up tomorrow afternoon. And once those move out, I think we wind up seeing a little bit of sunshine later in the day tomorrow. So it winds up looking a lot like Sunday did tomorrow, if that makes any sort of sense. 2 to 3 inches in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, 4 to 6 over Lookout Pass, 2 to 4 in Sandpoint, 1 to 3 in Colville. We are not done with snow just yet. We catch a break Wednesday, and then that snow returns Thursday.
All right, I get it, Jeremy. Thank you very much. The 2 men accused of killing a man and leaving his body in Elk faced a judge for the first time today. Jason Jones and Chandler Andrews are charged with second-degree murder.
KREM 2's Janelle Finch has been looking through newly released court documents. She joins us live from the courthouse tonight with what we now know. Janelle?
Mark and Whitney, today a district court judge maintained a $1 million bond for both suspects. According to this affidavit, Chandler Andrews claims the victim attempted to swing a metal pipe at both him and Jason Jones, and they killed him in self-defense. LaDonna Earhart says she's never had a problem living down the street from Jason Jones.
Always a really nice guy, really helpful for the neighborhood.
So Friday, she was surprised to see SWAT teams surrounding his home.
I heard them say, "You need to come out. We do not want to harm you. We have a warrant to search the house." And I thought, whose house? So I come out to look, and it's down there.
Allegedly, Jason Jones and the man living at his house, Chandler Andrews, killed a man. The affidavit says Andrew claims the victim swung a metal pipe at him and Jones. The victim allegedly raised the metal bar a second time. At this time, Andrew says they both shot at the victim.
It seemed really unlike Jason to be involved in that.
Court documents say the two confessed the crime to the victim's girlfriend and told her they left his body up north. She called police and they discovered the victim's body in Elk, Washington. After finding the body, officers went back to the suspect's East Garland home. Here, SWAT and other law enforcement engaged in an hours-long standoff. Police say Andrews eventually came out of the house and Jones was arrested near Northtown Mall. The judge did not set a future court date, and the state did not request a preliminary hearing for either of the suspects. So now the state has 30 days to file this case in Superior Court. Live from the Spokane County Courthouse, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
All right, Janelle, thank you. And in other headlines today, a car crash sent 3 people to the hospital over the weekend. One of those people was a Spokane Valley deputy. On Saturday, that deputy was responding to a robbery call in the valley with his lights and sirens on. Officials say a minivan, though, did not stop at a red light at the intersection of Sprague and University, hitting the deputy's car. Emergency crews took the deputy as well as the 2 people in the minivan to the hospital for minor injuries. Right now, the search is on for victims from that avalanche that happened last Sunday on Kolchuk Peak.
The body of one of the 3 victims has been recovered. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office says they found and retrieved the body of Sung Cho, who was living in Connecticut. They were unable to find the other 2 victims from the air. Another person was injured in the avalanche and survived. Well, 1 week after WashDOT removed the Magnolia Street pedestrian bridge that spanned I-90, they're inviting the public to give feedback on a newly proposed pedestrian route. The open house takes place Wednesday from 5:30 to 7 in the evening at Scott Elementary School. The bridge was demolished because of structural problems found earlier this year.
She was killed in a small plane crash in western Washington, and Sandy Williams will forever be remembered as a pioneer and the voice for so many people here in the Inland Northwest.
That Sandy did, but I didn't. I think I said at one of the services, I'm very aware of what she accomplished, but I wasn't as aware of all the people's lives that she touched.
Next week, we are taking a look back at Sandy's life and the legacy that she left behind. So make sure to join us, not next week, but tomorrow. It's February 28th at 6:30 for Sandy's story, celebrating a civil rights activist.
All right, still to come on KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. Recovery and cleanup continues in Turkey after the devastating earthquake. Coming up after the break, we hear from a Wenatchee woman who volunteered to help after all the destruction. We're back after a quick break.